Release the Kraken!
Yarrdeharr, me hearties. That was not the normal intro at all. Not the voice, not the looking at the sun. Anyway, the not looking at the sun part of the intro being gone is because we actually can't see. Oh, we can see the sun. It's kind of Yarrdeharr, me hearties. And there we kind of got the normal intro. But we have this big spawning platform on top of us. And part of the reason there is a glass block there is because I want to be able to, resetting the weather. So since it's always the same time on the map, if it gets darker, I just reset the weather and that will be the cause of the darkness. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do, first of all, there's a lot of stuff that has been changed. And it's all part of the map winning reset and the winning system, the resetting system, all the surrounding things about the map that's not actually about the map. So the the matchmaking and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna do a quick thing here. I'm gonna turn it night. I'm gonna sleep in this bed. And then I'll just stop sleeping in the bed because I'm gonna set the time anyway. And then I am going to do a /kill command. Because now when I press respawn, it will be as if I just entered the map from the first time I jumped onto the server which hosting the map. So it's like the first time you enter, this is going to happen. You won't have the swords, of course. But you get teleported to this nice little area. You get put into game mode, into adventure mode, and you get your spawn point set to right here. Now this is our beautiful little matchmaking area. Now, as you know, I am not the best builder in the world, or not even close, not even a good builder. So this is the AlbertFisk's work, or our work, I guess. We kind of worked on it, both of us. But he did come up with the design for the panels. The first panels were way smaller, and they were just after a while looking ridiculously compact and stupid. So we kind of switched them up. And here's going to be the admin settings. This is just a temporary button to teleport to the hub. They were planned to be something else, but I actually changed that, and you will see that soon. Start the map. We have the 3 game modes that are going to be available. One Road Mayhem is going to be just the center lane without the jungle, and the One Road plus jungle, which I don't actually have a name for that, is going to be the middle lane and the jungle. And the outer lanes are completely cut off. So in this game mode, everything except the middle lane is completely cut off. You can't go there. The standard game mode is just the entire map with all 3 lanes, etc. Also, you can't... it may look like you can jump out, but you can't. Because if we go into... That's not how you spell game mode 1. We go into game mode 1. We see that there are barrier blocks pretty much everywhere that make sure that you actually can't jump out of this area. And this area is placed just above everything. So that's one of the new stuff. You can see right down there we have one of the new stuff. Or one of the new things. 2 of the new things actually. And over here we have changed the winning system since the last episode and added another thing. There are also minor details that have been added and adjusted around everything. You can also see some bunch of the starting map has been added. But if you just do this, start the match, you will soon get teleported to the map. You see in the chat, monsters and towers will spawn in 30 seconds. So when you get teleported to the map, the shop will open up. The shop doesn't exist yet. but the map will open up, but there's nothing you can do. The towers are not activated or anything, so if you are a sneaky person, you could just run up, run past the enemy base and stand here if you wanted to do that and kill yourself, because when the things spawn, you'll be in a bit of trouble. So the normal mobs have not been changed. The towers are the same, but if we do this, you can see the red team have destroyed a tower and has, as I said in the last episode, you can actually use both in this situation, so I'm just not going to change it. But we kill this guy. I'm actually going to test something. Something that we did in a playtest seemed like a problem, that the towers did not shut down, but it seems like they did. So we have the Nexus. If we now win the game, now he's fairly tanky. Am I using a sharpness sword? So there we go. You can see that we get teleported. Press the button when you are ready to reset, and this is the button. Now this might be a bit fancier in the future. This is just like a holding cage. But you can see on the right side my scores. So my deaths, how much gold I have, kills, monster kills, deaths. I think those are the 4 or 5 things that are added by now or right now. So what I might do as well is actually add a total gold. That's a good idea. I should add a total gold. But if we teleport or reset the map, you will see the entire chat will roll, and then it pretty much just does what we showed last time. But now it says, please be patient while the map is on cooldown. You will be able to play in about into about minutes. That's a typo. That's the 2 should be in about 2 minutes. I should change that. But you can see start the match is now impossible. We can now not start the map because it's on cooldown and you shouldn't be able to start the match. So that are the things that have been added. So let's take a look at the things that actually have been added. So if we start by going... Maybe we should start on the other end right here where we were last time. This button, I think. Yep. It takes us to the right place. So this is the winning system. We'll start from here and go through. So we have the teams have been defeated. I've actually swapped places on them because they were wrong. We have the effects, which is the region effect I have now, but you can see that I have no particles. New thing in the 06 snapshot, which we are on right now, 06B, is that you can add the true after the effect, and that will make it so that you can see the particles. But the thing we do when you teleport them to that little cage up there and sets a redstone block right here in the middle, and that is just because there are some redstone pulses going in while the map is being reset, and I'm setting this block to make sure that things are stable. So it's just a stability thing. It's how the redstone works, deep things that you don't need to know. But this is setting the spawn point at the top there in that little cage. So if you do manage to kill each other, you won't be put down on the map. You can see also that you can now start a new match, and the buttons are now replaced, which I will show you soon. And we set a redstone block, which is over here. So that's what happens when you win. These all triggers, so you get teleported up there, your spawn points get set, and we put a redstone block right here. Now this sets off this toggle clock. And so what happens here is that the redstone goes through and it sends off a pulse that will start to cycle around, because this block will be here and the signal goes through. It's a little bit sloppy, the redstone, because there were 2 additional redstone blocks here before, but that scoreboard didn't work as I thought it did. I was using the new team kills, and it doesn't work as you think it would. Or at least I don't think it does. I'm not sure, it's a new thing, and maybe I'll figure it out later. But here we just change the sidebar score on the right side there from kills to CS to deaths to gold. So probably here somewhere I'm going to set up a total gold score, which is going to be all the money you've earned, so it will not be reduced when you buy stuff. But of course you will not be able to use it during the game. It's just a collective score of all the money you've earned. There are 4 repeaters, so 20 ticks between every single one of them. That's kind of enough time to read it. Otherwise it goes around fairly quickly, so that you will get a second chance if you missed it. So the reason the gold is the last one is because that will actually reset itself. So the next time you start a map, the scoreboard or the set display is already gold on the right side here. So you won't have to reset that manually with another command block or something. So it's just a nice touch to make it smoother. I don't need it. Removes a bit of redstone for me. And the button over in the little cage over there just removes this redstone block, so this clock will stop, this piston will retract, and when the signal comes through this block, it just dissipates and disappears, so the clock stops. And this torch will turn on again, since it was off because of the redstone dust, and this will set a redstone block over at the reset, so it will actually initiate the real reset, and it will reset all the scores and the map and everything. I've added over here, yes, I've added a new scoreboard, which is the minion kills, the total minion kills or monster kills, which when you kill a jungle spider, it scores, it adds that at the same time that it adds your gold, and it's the same for the normal minion kills. And if we head over to the cooldown reset, we should see that there are some new things, some signs here. We have the cooldown. I believe I did show you the first part here. It's just a hopper clock. When it's activated, this torch flashes off and then on again. So these two command blocks get set. And these are, I will show you what blocks they affect soon, but they set 2 air blocks just to display that you actually cannot press the button and the button isn't there. There should be a this one, remove button. So this command block removes the button from the matchmaking area. Then that makes it so that you actually can't start the map. We have, once that is done, we set 2 redstone blocks. So we have, this is a redstone block that is being set, and this is a redstone block, a button, and a message. So what these does is we can actually fly up here, and I can show you that if we jump into this area again, you will see that you can now actually start the map. We have the 2 lights are lighting up. There is a button here. Woohoo! On the back side, the lights are shining because there are redstone blocks behind them. The set air blocks, just set air blocks where these 2 redstone blocks are, turning off the lights, and the other set air block just set this block right here to a air block, so the button disappears. And once everything is done, it sets the 2 redstone blocks back and puts the button back. So that's that. There is another thing over there, and the reason actually for the button, there is a number 3 behind here, and that is actually the rotation of the button. So if it's on this side of the block, or if it's on this side of the block, or this side of the block. So that's just what it does. Then we have the start map sequence. Yes, this is when you press the button up there to start the map. You will soon get teleported to the map message, and it sets this block right here into an air block because you put a redstone block right there to start the map. Then we get this block, which actually sets the button to air so you can't double press it. So I'm not sure if this is actually needed or if it does something else. So I'm gonna remove this sign. It's hard to keep track of all the command blocks. And then we get 2 temporary spawns, which are in the blue base and in the red base. So that's why they are temporary. They will not be like that. There is no proper respawning system yet. Towers will spawn in 30 seconds, and you teleport the players to their specific base. Yeah, that's what we do. And once the clock is finished, we say monsters and towers have been spawned, and we set a redstone block over here, which starts the map. And almost finally, we have a few things added here. What we do here is that we set all the scoreboards. These are actually not needed anymore. Let's see, red kills to scores that were used and are now removed because they didn't work as I thought they would. But we're setting the kills, the CS, the gold and the deaths to 1, and then we're setting them to 0, and that means that they will actually show up because we are resetting the map pretty much all the time. We are resetting the scores actually pretty much all the time, or pretty often. When we start the map and stop the map, that's when we reset the scores, and that actually removes everyone from the scoreboard. So you will not actually show up on the right hand side. You can see that the gold, it's not there. But if I would do this, the gold actually shows up on the right hand side. So that's what we make sure that you can see that for all of the scores. So even if you don't die or get a kill in a match, you will be able to see that you got 0 kills. Otherwise you would not be able to see that when we cycle through all the scores. Anyway, another thing we are doing is actually setting a difficulty clock. So this is a new thing, which I think is pretty cool. And this is the replacement for the item or for the panel that I was telling you that was removed. So it's the difficulty of the map, or the difficulty easy, normal and hard. So I was planning first to make it so that you decide beforehand if you play easy, normal or hard. And what that would change is the damage the mobs does, because the difficulty changes a few things. It changes your regeneration, changes the damage mobs does, and it changes how often mob spawns. And since regen is not a thing in this map, there is no natural regeneration. The difficulty doesn't matter in that case for the regen. There are mobs that do damage, so that changes, but we don't spawn mob naturally. So the only thing the difficulty changes is actually the damage the mobs does. So what we do is that we summon an item right here. That's I can display that. Let's see. Let's do something so I don't set off everything. That should work. Blank, and you can see that there is a stone. And if you use the summon item, it just summons a stone. You don't have to specify what item you summon. No, that was not meant to be done. Okay, fine. Anyway, when that item is summoned, it presses down the pressure plate, and that sets the difficulty to easy. After 5 minutes, when the item disappears, demonstrate that real quick, or pick up the item. You can see that the there is an item placed here, and what you can't see is that the difficulty is now normal. So we went from easy to normal. So after 5 minutes, the game mode or the difficulty has turned into normal. This one summoned the items over here. Once these 5 minutes are over, the difficulty is set to hard, and that's the hardest part of the map, or hardest time of the map. So after 10 minutes, you are playing in a hard difficulty. So this is just preliminary. I can change the timing of this. So this with the age command of the items, or the age NBT tag of the items, to make sure that well, if it's 3 minutes for going to medium or normal difficulty, if that's better to do after 3 minutes, I can just change the age of the item. And the last thing, the final last thing, I'm sorry if I've dragged on for too long, is effect 2325 true, and that is the saturation, which if I actually do effect JaRs crafted clear, you will see that I'm getting saturation for 0 seconds, but it's there all the time. So that's what this does. It's just a normal hop clock. It runs all the time. There's nothing going on here more than this, and there's no particles. So there is a saturation command block. Yes, there is. This is not needed anymore. So we will just have saturation given to us all the time. That means that when you respawn in the map, you will get the saturation anyway, and you will never bother with food. You will never have to bother with it. Fairly simple. So that's pretty much all the things I've added. That's a lot. I know there's a lot of small things that seems unimportant, that's not super exciting, but it's the coming together of stuff which, as you saw in the beginning of the video when I actually demonstrated all the changes, or most of the changes, that's what's cool. When things just run smoothly, that's really cool and nice. Especially as the map maker, it's really nice to see when things work as intended and doing stuff. Anyway, I thank you all for watching. This is going to be our new intro section where we do the intro and we teleport to the places, probably, maybe. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like. If you didn't, feel free to leave a dislike. If you have any suggestions on the map, leave them in the comment section below. I do read all the comments, of course. So we have had some good suggestions which are implemented in the map. So don't be afraid to comment. And I shall see you next time.